retching. So we decided to stop off at Gordon Bay just on the way down to the west coast, and look at this business right here. Just stunning. I mean, we've come a little bit late. It would have been nice if we got here about an hour earlier so that this mist over here was backlit as the sun rises up through these trees, but we just had no idea that that's how it would be this time of year. So this is logged in memory. Maybe we'll come back tomorrow or some other time this week, but these conditions this is what you dream about as a landscape photographer. Sun, mist, low-lying clouds, absolutely magnificent. So yeah, maybe we'll come back another day this week. Gorgeous, isn't it?
Well, that was a fun little detour, but it was definitely time to get back on the road.
So the other day we came to this location called Peasant Creek, and it's this gorgeous little waterfall. And so we both hadn't been there for, like, when was the last time you were there? A year ago?
Just over a year ago, yeah.
I haven't been there in maybe 4 or 5 years, and neither one of us fully realised that if you time it just right, you get this gorgeous orange glow in the background behind the waterfall, which then reflects down on all of the wet surfaces and the pool there. So when we went the other day, we didn't really do any vlogging because we were so blown away by this light that we were just shooting like maniacs. So we decided it was so good we would come back again 2 days later and have another crack at it to maybe get some even better shots and maybe shoot some more vlog footage so that you can see how we got these shots. Ooh, f***ing hell, this road is terrible. It's either going to be complete trash with too much water or it's going to be perfect. What's your guess? Crap?
I think it's going to be good.
So good?
Yeah.
What are you betting? What are you prepared to bet?
Cliff bar.
Cliff bar? Bloody hell. I'll bet you beer and a burger.
Alright, that sounds fair enough.
That it's too much water.
Alright, yeah. Nice.
So if it's good, I buy you dinner. If it's crap, you buy me dinner.
Alright.
Deal.
You're on.
Every time that I hike this trail, I end up on my ass because I wipe out, so this time I laced up properly.
For once in my life, I've finally remembered to film and include plenty of B-roll footage of us hiking through the forest to our destination. Perhaps even too much, because there's a lot of this. It's very doubtful that you can see it, but Adam just spotted a little owl just up on that branch there. Tiny little owl. So cute. What kind of owl do you think it is?
It's either a pygmy owl or a saw-whet owl. I'm not very good on birds. I think it's a pygmy owl.
So cute. I want to cuddle it. I do. Adam sets quite the brisk pace for a guy in his 70s. In fact, I could barely keep up with him. There's a good reason why it's disgracefully expensive to live in coastal BC. This is what winter looks like. It's December and it's absolutely scorchy. We're having to strip right. I wish I brought shorts.
I'm kidding. I wish I brought my thong.
I'd pay money to see that.
Look at that, so limber. Once again, I am very impressed for such an elderly gentleman. Now, if you're considering hiking out to Peasant Creek, I'll give you this one tip that's going to save you a broken ankle. Trust the mud and avoid the wood. Look, watch me slip on this route. Whoa, off we go. Yeah, if you just stick to the mud and just don't care about getting your feet a little bit wet or wear some galoshes like Adam does, you'll be safe. Are you experiencing what we were experiencing at the time, thinking, when is this trail going to end? Well, it's almost at an end, and it's totally worth the wait.
So, don't tell Adam, but I think he forgot about our bet, which I clearly lost because this is the perfect amount of water. He's off flying his drone somewhere and he hasn't mentioned it, so I don't think I'm going to end up buying him dinner. So what I'm doing here with this shot, if you look at the foreground here, what I like about this shot is I've got this log just creeping its way in from the right. I've got this beautiful fallen tree here with all of this lovely greenery growing around it, and everything in the shot, if you look from the edges, it's almost like a pyramid shape that comes in and it's pointing at these waterfalls, these three cascades. And I've framed it up so that I've got just enough of this log in the top. Now this is a 16:9 crop, so the actual 3:2 fits a bit more of that in and a little bit more of this in, so it's actually a much better composition. But for the purposes of the video, I have to record this in 16:9, but you still get the idea. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to focus on this area in the background, and I'm focusing at f8, and then when I'm ready to take the shot, what I do is I deliberately overexpose my shot so that I can see things clearly enough to focus. And then when I've got that perfect focus, then I'll change my aperture. So with this lens, I really like f8, but I might need a bit more depth of field. f8's super sharp, but I'm a little bit close to this log that you see over here, so I might need f11, maybe even f14. What I'll do is I'll take a few shots and then I'll look back at them and see, did I get perfect focus. But the place that I'm going to focus is right at the back there, where that waterfall is just pouring down, and there's a very nice crisp rocky edge there, and I'm going to focus on that. If I do that well, pretty much everything in the foreground should be in focus at the correct aperture.
Now, if you'd like to download the raw files for this image, all you've got to do is sign up to my newsletter, and there's a link in the description, and I'll also put a link in the card inside the video. So all you got to do is sign up, you can download the files right away, and I promise I won't spam you with any rubbish.
Look at that business. This is just gorgeous. I've got some killer shots. Did you get any good shots?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's probably the best conditions I've ever seen. Yeah, perfect. So, you owe me a beer and a burger, eh?
I was hoping you'd forgotten.
No, I don't forget things like that.
So I'm getting you dinner. How about Subway? So let me just explain my thought process with this shot. What I'm trying to get is a very tight, simple scene where there's a lot going on. And part of the thing about taking pictures of waterfalls is there's always a section in the image where you can see here where there's kind of like, when it comes to video, there's not a lot going on, so there's kind of like an empty area where these bubbles are slowly creeping out. But when you take a long exposure, that turns into something else entirely. So you might be composing a shot where you think there is no foreground. It's like, oh, there's no foreground while you're composing it, but then once you've shot it, these little bubbles will create these gorgeous spirals and tendrils that kind of creep out towards the lens, and it's just so interesting and so fascinating. So with this composition, now again, like I mentioned before, this is a 16:9 on the video, but the actual composition that I've made is a 3:2. So you're actually missing some parts at the top there, but you'll see that on the 3:2 that I'll show you in a bit, and you're missing a little bit of the foreground. But you can pretty much see that I've put the main falls slap bang in the center, and then everything else comes around that. So the whole idea is I want everything to suck your eye into this gorgeous cascade of water, and it's beautifully framed by these canyon walls on either side. There's all kinds of shapes, and really this shot is all about this waterfall. It's a very obvious, simple composition, and sometimes those are the best. But what's going to make this a really special shot is you can already see this lovely orange glow, this lovely light that's creeping in. So once it gets to this section in the background, that's when we're going to get reflections in the foreground here, and that's the comp that I'm going for. So I've set up my composition now. It's a nice shot already, but I'm going to wait and I'm going to bide my time for that perfect moment and capture as many exposures as I need to for the different dynamic range, the different movement of water, and nail it perfectly.
You know, as a photography instructor, I get to see all kinds of people with all kinds of gear, but I have never quite witnessed anything like this before. What is he doing? Look at that. It's kissing it. Should I be doing that? Will that make me a better photographer? Yeah, I saw you.
Well, we're waiting for this gorgeous golden glow, but it's bloody freezing in here.
Can we get my bivy bag? We can cuddle.
Who's the big spoon? Who's the little spoon? Actually, I don't know which is worse. They're both bad. There's no winner or loser in that situation.
I'd rather be the big spoon.
Now we know.
Oh, it's coffee.
It's not tea.
How can a Yorkshireman not drink tea?
I just don't like it. It's never been my thing.
Oh, that's pretty good. It's warm.
Yeah. You pour it out, and then as soon as it hits the cold air, it loses its heat real quick. Have you got herpes? You have now. Oh, that's the last dribble. It's so bloody cold that Adam's had to put on his Vulcan gloves. Oh! Right. Is it on both sides as well?
Yes.
Oh, I like it. And then, what's this zipper for?
Oh, you can put hand warmers in there, I
Oh,
think.
like that.
And the thumbs come off as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Are they expensive?
Of course they are.
It's photography, isn't
Anything
it?
to do with photography is always expensive. Actually, they're pretty well made. They're leather.
I feel a bit inadequate now with mine. I've got glove envy.
So Gavin, you got a long lens?
It's not really very long.
No, not as long as mine.
Mine isn't as long as yours.
You know, it's really good for getting in there close. You know, you've got to really get in there.
Yeah, I've got lens envy right now.
Yeah.
As the canyon got colder and colder, the magic moment finally arrived, just in time for my last shot of the day. You know, if you want anything truly beautiful in life, it doesn't come easy. You've got to be prepared to work, dedicate your heart and soul, and you'll find it. And on the subject of work, we had to head back down the trail before it got too dark because I owed his lordship a burger and a beer.
Just a quick reminder, if you enjoyed that video and you got any kind of pleasure out of it, please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and if you can be bothered, hit that little bell button so that I can annoy you at 3 o'clock in the morning next time my video goes up. Thanks for watching. Bye bye. Oh,
cheers, mate.
thank you. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
I had a brilliant day today.
Even though you shit yourself.